See the Father, got to see the Son. Praises unto Yahweh, and Yahweh been Yahweh. From the nation of Yahweh, if judgment day was a Sunday, Babylon would have run away. Only for police would have down day. That could have never be their fun day. Hey, hey. See the earth, the moon, the stars. Yahweh is you, create everything in Mars. Righteousness is like a garment we all need to wear without fear. So in these last days, my friend, don't have no fear. From the nation of Yahweh, if judgment day was a Sunday, Babylon would have run away. Holy police would have down day. That could have never be their fun day. Yeah. Babylon trigger. So then we walk and talk, going to the Holy Land. We walk, then talk, going to the Promised Land. Let us walk and talk, going to the Motherland. Let us walk, then talk, going to Mount Zion from the nation of Yahweh. If judgment day was a Sunday, Babylon would have run away. Holy police would have down day. That could have never be their fun day. Yeah. Babylon trigger away. Knowledge increase, and I see with my eye. The mark of the beast to me is no surprise. But Babylon want to trick to get to you, replacing the truth with the wicked things that they want us to do. From the nation of Yahweh, if judgment day was a Sunday, Babylon would have run away. Hypocrites with a down day. That could have never be their fun day. Yeah. Babylon trigger away. Oh no, let us walk, then talk, going to the Holy Land. Let us walk, then talk, going to the Motherland. Let us walk, then talk, going to the Promised Land. Let us walk, then talk, going to Mount Zion from the nation of Yahweh. If judgment day was a Sunday, Babylon would have run away. Only by hypocrites down there.
Charity, generosity, munificence, love. Let all things be done with love, tender passion, affection, harmless as a dove. Love.
we give to our name is eternal love.
Shalom, family. The nation of Yahweh would like to thank you for joining us tonight for Yahweh's Feast of Tabernacles, solar year 6025. We are making a global call to good people, and at this feast, we will learn how righteousness brings about the change we need to see. I hope you're ready because you are in for a treat. We'll get started with a prayer and then a welcome. Then we will have a presentation by our teaching priest for tonight. After that, a very special message by the Most Honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh.
And now for our prayer. If we will all stand and face the east with outstretched hands, O Yahweh, God of our salvation, save us, gather us together, and deliver us from this heathen, so that we may give thanks to thy holy name and glory in thy praises. Blessed be the holy name of Yahweh and Yisrael forever. O Yahweh, let them be confounded that persecute us, but let not us be confounded. Let our enemies be dismayed, but let not us be dismayed. Bring upon our enemies the day of evil, and destroy them with double destruction. O Yahweh, forgive our fathers for breaking your laws, and please forgive us for breaking your laws. Help us to never bring shame upon thy great name, nor reproach against thy works. For surely we have turned ourselves to thee, O Yahweh, trying to be upright. And as we confess our faults, please grant us protection against all of our faults. Cleanse us of our secret faults, and guide us to the best of morals. For surely our prayers and our sacrifices, our lives and our deaths, are all for thee, O Yahweh. Tefillah. Avenu Shabbat Shemayim, Yikadesh Shemeaka, Tavo Malkuteraka, Yad Zerizonka, Kim Bashemayim Kain Ba'aretz, Elekum Kukenu, Tain Lanu Hayom, Uslat Lanu, All Kartienu, Kimosa Sol King, Gamanatnu, Lakotiem Lanu, Veal Tevienu, Lade Nisayom, King Kal Senu, Min Hara, Kilaka, Hamamlaha, Veha Givera, Veha Tefieret, Leolame, Olamin Sila. We thank thee, O Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. So let everything that has breath praise Yahweh.
Shalom. My name is Kagith Athalia Yisrael Bath Yahweh, and I welcome each and every one of you from every corner of the globe to the nation of Yahweh's Feast of Tabernacles in this solar year 6025. Praise Yahweh, giving all admiration, idolization, adoration, glory, and honor to Yahweh and his humble son and servant, Yahweh ben Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. We have all come together in celebration of the Feast of Tabernacles, as stated in Zechariah chapter 14, verse 16, which reads, "And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles." From Zechariah chapter 14, verse 16, the Hebrew word for tabernacle, under code number H5521 from the Strong's Exhaustive Concordance, tabernacle is sukkah, and it is a hut or lair, booth, cottage, pavilion, tabernacle, and tent. Leviticus chapter 23, verses 34 through 36 reads, "Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, The 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord Yahweh. On the first day shall be a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord Yahweh. On the 8th day shall be a holy convocation unto you, and ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord Yahweh. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein. This time, here, now, this assembly today, we are fulfilling the law of the Bible, us gathered together in this assembly. We're not gathered at a physical location or a physical assembly, but through the airwaves connecting us from every corner of the coast and every corner of the world, we are assembled. And it is through this fulfillment of the law that we shall and we will subdue the earth in righteousness. And this tabernacle, as we globally call all good brothers and sisters to come together, we are here answering that call tonight. So shalom and welcome, welcome, welcome. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. Shalom Aleichem, my brothers and sisters. Again, welcome to Feast of Tabernacles 6025. It is my distinguished privilege to introduce to you our speaker for tonight. He is one who has taken on the character of our father, Yahweh ben Yahweh, and making 1,000 friends for Yahweh. 39 years ago, I met this brother. This brother has been on a mission ever since I met him. This brother's mission is, again, to make 1,000 friends for Yahweh. And he goes about doing the business of Yahweh, dressed as Yahweh, demonstrating that he is the character of his dress. Not only is he clothed in white with a white diadem, but he expresses the qualities of the white that he's clothed with. He's demonstrating to the people that, yes, my mind is clothed with purity. My mind is clothed with innocence, and they see the purity and innocence that he demonstrates. And because he demonstrates these different qualities of white, the people are attracted to him. The people are drawn to him. I've seen commissioners, police officers, police sergeants, and business owners just simply are drawn towards the magnetic pull that this brother has. See, he's like the son of Yahweh. See, the son has a gravitational pull. We, as the sons of Yahweh, have a gravitational pull. We automatically begin to attract people that are looking for the goodness of Yahweh. We begin to attract people that are looking for the righteousness of Yahweh. When we demonstrate the character of Yahweh ben Yahweh in our everyday life, in our walk, in our talk, we are showing Yahweh ben Yahweh to them. This brother does exactly that. He takes it upon himself to share what he learns through what he demonstrates. This brother is a worker for Yahweh through Builders of the Highway Foundation. He believes that we can overcome the world if we practice the principles of Yahweh ben Yahweh in our everyday life for the betterment of our communities and the world as a whole. The earth shall be full of the knowledge of Yahweh because we shall do the necessary work of spreading this word of truth to others who are looking for it. Brothers, my brothers and sisters, there is guaranteed 144,000 that are looking for this word that I'm talking to you about. This brother comes to bring to you the word of Yahweh, which will set you free. That's why, my brothers and sisters, it's very important that you get your pens and your paper together, your pencils and your paper together. Take notes so that you can go back and review what this brother has to give to you. My brothers and sisters, I introduce to you a brother who I am happy. I said, I am happy, extremely happy to call this brother my brother, the teaching priest, Aman ben Yahweh. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. Good gracious. Brother Levon Ben Yahweh. Those who was on the class last night, the second night, you had the opportunity to hear him elucidate on the knowledge of Yahweh Ben Yahweh. And to have a brother that's excited about introducing me is exciting. It's time for us to get excited about one another. When we realize who we are, you will get excited about one another. Levon, thank you so very much. And I love you too. And I thank Yahweh Ben Yahweh for you. Praise Yahweh. First, I'd like to give all thanks to my Father, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, for his truth and mercy. Because without him, I would be doomed and I owe him my life. Thank you, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, for choosing me. My topic tonight is coming from the book, How to Overcome the World. Some may ask the question, why how to overcome the world? Revelations 21:7 say, he that overcometh the world shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, Yahweh, and he shall be my son. That's why we're teaching out of the book, How to Overcome the World. If you don't have that book, you need it. That book was given to us as a gift from Yahweh Ben Yahweh, because he overcame the world and he put it in a book for us to overcome the world also. Praise Yahweh. Everywhere that you read Lord and God in the Bible, you'll see Yahweh. It's supposed to be Yahweh. And Romans 9:13 say, for whosoever shall call on the name Yahweh, the name of the Lord Yahweh, shall be saved. Did you hear that? Whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord Yahweh shall be saved. The Lord Yahweh has a name. Yes, Yahweh. And the world is now acknowledging that name, Yahweh. Those are the works of Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Zechariah 14:2 say, and the Lord Yahweh shall be king over all the earth. in that day shall there be one Lord Yahweh, and his name one. Praise Yahweh. My topic is give Yahweh your burdens. He shall sustain you. That's in page 286, the second paragraph on that page. The top one that says be patient. That's what Brother Levon did last night, did an outstanding job. And I'm doing the second part, which is give Yahweh your burdens. He shall sustain you. We have a lot of good things coming up tonight. I'm going to move fast, so I'm going to tell you now, you're definitely going to need some paper and pencil, because I'm going to start from 1, 2, 3, the third paragraph on 287. And it says in that third paragraph, it says, it is now time for you to prepare unto righteousness and commit your works unto Yahweh, and your thoughts shall be established. Your thoughts should be established. Proverbs 16:3. Are you in love with Yahweh? Or are you trying to hold on to the material world as your primary desire? You cannot serve Yahweh and the material world. Therefore, I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put in it. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment? Matthew 6:25. Have you been too proud to submit your cares to Yahweh? Ben Yahweh. You resist the proud and give grace to the humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, unto the mighty hand of Yahweh. I'm going to skip down to the next paragraph. You are my witness that I am teaching you all things and bring all things to your remembrance. My peace I give unto you, not as the world give unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. John 14:6, 26-27. Let not your hearts be troubled. You believe in Yahweh, believe also in me. St. John 14:1. Indeed, you have suffered sorrow, anguish, pain, hunger, and tears when you believe in Yahweh. Accept and receive Yahweh. See, when you accept him, be prepared for suffering, sorrows, anguish, pain, hunger, and tears, because the world don't love him, and they don't love you loving him. Your sorrows shall be turned into joy, for the Son of Man is born unto the world. And now, therefore, your heart shall rejoice, and your joy no man can take from you. And this day shall ye ask me nothing. Truly, truly, I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall ask the Father Yahweh in my name, he will give it to you. Not might, will. Hither have you asked nothing in my name? Ask, and ye shall receive, that your joy may be full. John 16, 21, 24 through 24. Revelations 12, 12 through 13. If you believe on Yahweh that raised up Yahweh ben Yahweh from the spiritually dead lost sheep of the house of Israel, you will be justified. Therefore, being justified by faith, you have peace with Yahweh through Yahweh ben Yahweh. Romans 4, 24. It is time for you to put on the new mindset, not the old mindset. We must get rid of that. It is now time for us to put on the new mindset, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of Yahweh that created you. And let the peace of Yahweh rule your hearts, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be thankful. Colossians 3, 10 through 15. And it says renewed knowledge. Now, how we acquire this new mindset, you can go to write it down. Psalms 19:7, where it says, the law of the Lord Yahweh is perfect, and it'll convert your soul. It will change your mind. It will give you the strength to have the new mindset. This is the knowledge that we need. Now it says that this renewed knowledge after the image of Yahweh. Let's talk about, there's so much information in this topic. It's really unbelievable. It's one of the hardest presentations that I ever had to give. But I'm gonna deal with the word image. And when I look up the word image, it deals with kinship, family. Yes. When Yahweh created a man and a female in his image, that's because we're his kinship and his family. Now we have to get into DNA and deal with genes and hereditary character. See, one thing about the DNA, it's self-replicating. It's also the main constituent of chromosomes. It is the carrier. Listen to me now. It is the carrier of genetic information. Our genes and chromosomes are the carrier of genetic information. The fundamental and distinctive characteristics or qualities. This is already in us. This is also regarded by Yahweh as unchangeable. See, Job, Yahweh had faith in Job. I said Yahweh had faith in Job. Lucifer told Yahweh that Job will curse you to your face if you take that hedge from around him, if you take all that he owned from him. Yahweh said, go ahead, Lucifer, shoot your best shot. He would only say that because he knew who Job was. And Job is a representation of us. See, 1 Peter 2:9 says, but ye are a chosen generation. When you get a chance, look real good into the word generation. There's about 3 to 4 words in the word generation, but one of them is gene. See, this generation that witnesses Yahweh ben Yahweh is chosen to be a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. See, the world was full of darkness. And one of the definitions of darkness is full of immorality, just unlimited immorality. Yahweh referred to him as the bottomless pit, this world. Somebody had to call us out of that. That's no other than Yahweh ben Yahweh. And talking about that, those genes and that DNA. See, one thing about Yahweh, he communicates in multiple ways. See, the gene or the name Yud He Wav He. See, the Yud has 10 acids, then a bridge. The He has 5 acids, then a bridge. The Wav has 6 acids, then a bridge. And the He again has 5 acids, then a bridge. The pattern continues, and it happens trillions of times in your cells. The significance of those numbers is Yud is 10, He is 5, Wav is 6, and He is 5. In your DNA structure, Yahweh has put his name in there with the numerical value of his name. And this continues throughout your cells. What does this mean? Each Hebrew letter has a numeric value. Again, Yud is 10, He is 5, Wav is 6, and He is 5. Now, while I'm emphasizing this, because I'm talking about 10 acids, 5 acids, 6 acids, and 5 acids again. That's the equivalent of Yahweh's name. These are the 4 letters representing his name. And this happens in our physical body over 50 trillion times. Yahweh. See, Yahweh has put his name in us. And the DNA is responsible for hereditary information. It just took Yahweh ben Yahweh to come activate. See, we are greater than we view ourselves. We can surpass all human limits. Matter of fact, we are unlimited. We have unlimited potential. Unlimited potential. Ephesians 1:4 says, according as he has chosen us, listen to me now, according as he has chosen us in him before the foundation of the world. We haven't just got here. Before the foundation of the world, we was chosen, that we should be holy and without blame before him, Yahweh, in love. Listen now, Ephesians 5 now. having predestinated us unto the adoption of the children of Yahweh ben Yahweh himself, according to his good pleasure of his will. See, you got to look up predestined. You got to do it. I'm telling you, got to do it now. See, I want you to go to 1 Samuel 4 and 8. See what I'm really telling you. What I'm really telling you, as Yahweh came here to duplicate himself. He didn't come here just to show, he came to duplicate himself. And it says, woe unto us. Who shall deliver us out of the hands of these? Look at this now. Look at it, what it says. Mighty, capital Gods. They wanted to know who could deliver them from these mighty gods. These are the gods that smote the Egyptians with all the plagues in the wilderness. I'm talking about you now. See, this is the knowledge that they never wanted you to get. We are more than what you think. Dictionary.com. I got to hurry up, everybody. I got to hurry up. They got some good things happening tonight. Dictionary.com. You need to write that down. Dictionary.com. And look up the word omnipotent. And what that word says. Thank you. Thank you. Look at it real close now. Omnipotent, almighty, or infinite in power. Infinite in power as Yahweh. Y'all see that? Having very great or unlimited authority and power. Y'all see that? As Yahweh. Must understand he came to recreate himself in us. Praise Yahweh. See, this may scare someone. I understand, but it doesn't scare me. As my brother Levon said, there's 144,000 who will house Yahweh in their mind. Maybe this will help you a little bit. I want you to go to Isaiah 42 and 8. Isaiah 42 and 8. And it says, I am the Lord Yahweh. That is my name. Pay attention now. And my glory will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. Y'all read that, right? He said, I wouldn't give my glory to another. But when you go to Romans 8:17, Romans 8:17, it says, and if children, then heirs of Yahweh, and joint heirs with Yahweh ben Yahweh. If so be that we suffer with him, Yahweh ben Yahweh, that we may be also what? Glorified together. Now he said he wasn't going to give his glory to another. But here's saying there's some people going to be qualified to be glorified together with him. See, that's why he taught us for years. Our motto is one God, one mind, one love, one action. Then it says, I reckon that the suffering of this present time, whatever you're going through right now, are not worthy to be compared with the who? The glory which shall be revealed where? Revealed in us. Mm, mm, mm. We got a lot of responsibility, family. You read where there was a capital G and a S, G-O-D-S. The gods that brought plagues on Egypt. That's America today. This is going to end my presentation tonight. There's no way in the world, unless I've been instructed to give a shorter presentation, that I can stop now. But we got some great things happening this evening. Now you hear me talk about Yahweh ben Yahweh and why he came to us to reproduce himself. That man, Yahweh ben Yahweh, one raised up from amongst his brethren, us, who proclaim the name Yahweh. That's who you're about to hear right now. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, guests, I bring to you Yahweh ben Yahweh.
I'm building my kingdom with you who voluntarily receive me. Behold, I stand at your door and I knock. Some of you are sitting back in there, got your door all locked up, hollering out, who is it? I don't mind telling you, Yahweh ben Yahweh. And I'm calling out and saying, there's a terrible storm, it's a severe storm headed your way. And it's called the fall of Satan. And this is the time of Jacob's trouble.
Look how they tax you. When it's all said and done, you're lucky to have 10% left for yourself. That's a fact. They reverse that thing. You know, they take 90% and say, well, they must be giving you a message and telling you that you God, because that's all they give you is 10%. That's what belongs to Yahweh, 10%. So you must be God or something. That's all they let you have is 10%. It's about time you figure out, you can look through the taxes and figure out who you are. Yeah, you got to be God's. That's the divine decree. You give 10% to God. That's what they do. Certain portions of man's crop, livestock, and first fruits should be rendered to Yahweh as concrete retribution for the help that Yahweh gives to you. Let's turn to Deuteronomy chapter 16, verses 15, 16, and 17. Read.
7 days shalt thou keep a solemn feast unto the Lord Yahweh thy God, in the place which the Lord Yahweh thy God shall choose. Because the Lord Yahweh thy God shall bless thee in all thine increase, and in all the works of thine hands. Therefore thou shalt surely rejoice. 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord Yahweh thy God, in the place which he shall choose, in the feast of unleavened bread, and in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacles, and they shall not appear before the Lord Yahweh empty. Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of the Lord Yahweh thy God, which he hath given thee.
Directions are clear. When you come to the knowledge of Yahweh and that Yahweh is your God, then you obey the will of your God. And in obeying the will of your God, you will follow these prescriptions and surely rejoice. And as you keep the laws of Yahweh, you are blessed above all people on the earth, because that's his decree. And the blessings of the Lord Yahweh are designed to make you rich. Proverbs 10:22. Read.
The blessing of the Lord Yahweh, it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it.
This is the way of Yahweh. To make you rich is his desire. And we who have submitted to the will of Yahweh, that's exactly what he's doing. He's making us rich without apology and no sorrow with it. He puts a difficulty in our face, and then Yahweh moves the difficulty. Yahweh puts a problem in our face, and it seems very difficult. Then he solves the problem. Yahweh makes our way difficult, and then Yahweh eases the difficulty. Yahweh puts an obstacle in front of us, and it seems like surely this is the end. And then Yahweh makes a way out of nowhere. So it's a blessing to know the will of Yahweh. It's a greater blessing to carry out that will. So the entire world must pay tribute to Yahweh for his unselfish and eleemosynary donations to all men. For Yahweh is the giver of life. And unless all men come and worship the King of Israel, they're not going to be blessed. Zechariah 14. Zechariah chapter 14. And if you don't come and worship the King of Israel, you'll starve to death and die from much sickness. Starting at verse 16 and 17 and 18, read.
And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord Yahweh ben Yahweh of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord Yahweh ben Yahweh of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. And if the family of Egypt go not up, and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh ben Yahweh will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
Read verse 19 so you'll understand why. Read.
This shall be the punishment of Egypt, and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
So I don't care whether you're a Hindu or Buddhist, a Muslim or Christian or whatever you say you are, you're going to have to bow to the King of Israel. You're going to have to bow to Yahweh of hosts. That's it. That's just the way it is. And I happen to be the King of Israel. And that's the way that is. Praise Yahweh. Some real slick reporters they came and they interviewed me and they wanted to know, well, you're going back to Israel? I said, not anytime soon. Well, they're fighting over there. They may not want you to come in. I'm not worried about that. See, that's not the problem. I don't mind who wants to fight over Old Jerusalem. I'm not concerned who wants to die over Old Jerusalem. I'm not about that. I'm not about Old Jerusalem. Let me tell you the one that I'm establishing. It's called New Jerusalem. That's what I'm bringing, New Jerusalem. And guess where New Jerusalem is? In the Middle East? No. It won't be new unless I go to the Middle East. New Jerusalem is wherever I choose to place my name. And I choose to place my name in America. Oh, glory. I'll just clean up the farm here. I don't worry about the desert. I've been through the desert 40 years one time. That was enough for me. In the days of Moses. You don't want to see a desert. Desert is rough, boy. Have y'all just seen a picture of a desert? That's desolate. You think God is dumb enough to go set up camp on the desert? I wouldn't want to hang out with no God that say, I just hang on the desert. Not me, not no desert God. No. I'd rather come to rulership in New Jerusalem where there's already pavement and highways and just need some redoing.
Know and rest your mind assured. Our eyes have seen his works before. And until my last days, 'tis Yahweh I will praise. Yahweh.
All right, Brother Amon, if we can get you to unmute and come back on.
Thank you, sis. I was just talking to myself. But I said you heard it yourself. Yahweh ben Yahweh said, New Jerusalem is in America. USA is in the word Jerusalem. Now that it's clear where New Jerusalem is, see, as Egypt, America fall, there's another nation are going to rise. And all nations are in America. And all nations know about Yahweh ben Yahweh. I was just given a job, just started a new business and was given a job. And I noticed that this gentleman was extremely kind to me. And after talking to him a few times, he said, are you with Yahweh ben Yahweh? And I said, yes, that is my father. See, the world knows. All we have to do is realize who we are and exhibit Yahweh ben Yahweh's characteristics. It's time for us to move about America and take over America. It's for the taking. This is just the quarter. This is just the headquarters. This is just the hub for the whole world. As the whole world recognize us, they'll tell their other kindreds, people. Again, I want to thank my father, Yah ben Yahweh, and it's time for us to wake up. It's time for us to become conscious of who we are, why Yahweh ben Yahweh came. Tomorrow night, you got to be ready. We have the brother that wrote the book, The Spiritual Significance of a Name. The spiritual significance of a name. He's going to be teaching tomorrow night. You want to tell everybody. You got to witness this for yourself. You got to hear this brother. Matter of fact, all nights of this feast, we have some dynamic speakers. You're going to hear some more brothers and sisters. Yes, sisters. It's going to show you Yahweh ben Yahweh's mind. But the first thing to prepare for everybody else coming, teaching, you want to be there tomorrow night to hear Brother Jeremiah ben Yahweh. I'd like to thank Yah ben Yahweh and the nation of Yahweh for this opportunity. And I want to turn this part of the program over to Dr. Lou and Sister Tamar. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. Wow. What a message. What a teaching. And then what a message again.
I know.
Yahweh ben Yahweh gave Brother Amon a message. Then he came on and gave a message. And then Brother Amon came on and put that message in perspective.
I mean, Yahweh gave us so much insight on us in our identity. And it's amazing how Yahweh was able to share this information through the wisdom of our brother Amon's research. So I thank Yahweh for giving us this information, because this talks about our responsibility. It talks about a work that we must do. It's beyond just understanding who we are. Understanding who you are comes with a role,
a responsibility, a duty. That leads us right on to the part that we all can take part in, and that is the offerings, the donations and offerings. It is that time, yes, it is that time for us to put your money where your mouth is. Put your money where you know that Yahweh's work is being done, because that's our duty. That's part of the law. You have to pay Yahweh and yourself first, but then you also have to come to this feast and don't come empty. You know, Yahweh ben Yahweh just said you are commanded to give as you are able to give. And I've been talking for the last few nights about, you know, we had planned to be in another city, and Yahweh didn't allow that, but we still have those proceeds that we need to donate as an offering, because we still having the feast. Feast is still here. See, understanding Yahweh's law is also understanding the spirit of that law. And see, Yahweh has his way in the whirlwind. He has his way in the storm. You know, Yahweh calls us to be together, although we're not physically together. We are together spiritually in one mind, the mind of Yahweh. And now the one action for tonight is for us to pool our resources. We have a great announcement coming up. We have pooled resources, and we have built a program of micro grants to be given to the Nation of Yahweh businesses. And tonight we do have a announcement and a presentation of those grants. Sister Tamar. Okay, so nation building
So praise Yahweh. We will be announcing who the recipients are. So we're going to pull that visual up.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so Builders of the Highway Foundation Small Business Development Grant Program is called the BUILT program, Building Unity in Industry, Love, and Trust. BUILT. BUILT has been built. This is our first inaugural grant cycle for awardees. And the awardees this cycle, the first cycle, is first awardee, and what they will receive, after I announce them, tomorrow we'll go over what they will receive. So now, number one is Ferguson Landscaping, LLC, Samuel Yisrael, Miami, Florida. We're going to get it. All right. All right. The second grant recipient is Queen Comics, LLC, Yehoshua Yisrael, Denver, Colorado. All right. And the final grant recipient for this cycle is Valley Hills LLC, Uri Yisrael, Miami, Florida. Those are the grant awardees for this cycle. And Sister Tamar will talk about some of the things that they won't only get money, but they will get money.
Praise Yahweh. Yes, sir. So the grant cycle award amounts are $5,000 for each recipient. We do have 3 total this cycle, but we will be launching a new cycle very, very soon. So that said, family, those are not the first and or the last. I mean, these are the first, but not the last of our grant recipients. But we also will be creating a program where each, not only recipient, but applicant will be going through our the first phase of our Nation Building Institute, where we will offer,
which is the business development phase.
The business development phase, where we'll be offering business development classes. So we praise Yahweh. Job well done. We got a note from our brother Samuel Boaz in the chat. Congratulations, job well done. We grant you the best on your businesses. So this endeavor was created so that we can keep it moving. It's not just a 1 year. So if you apply, you will get a chance to participate in the first phase of the Nation Building Institute. And there'll be some other things that we're going to work towards building into this program, because it's really about us actually creating businesses that are designed to help us build Yahweh's nation. This is just the first phase, family. So do know this is going to keep happening.
And this is just a way to help stimulate commerce, because we will be promoting those businesses and those businesses' accomplishments all the way up into the next cycle of granting. And so that way we hopefully will stimulate business, commerce, currency, flow of business and capital to these businesses. And hopefully it will inspire others to not only apply for the grant next cycle, but also to, do more to enhance their businesses, to learn more about their businesses. The Nation Building Institute will be available soon. it will be online for businesses to learn all these things, these principles that we have compiled from the Most Honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh and his teachings on ethical businesses and ethical businesses practices, and all of the practical knowledge of license and fees and different things that you may encounter when you're trying to start up a business or when you're trying to expand a business.
Yes, sir. And Yahweh has told us it's time for us to acknowledge who we are and the work we must do in building New Jerusalem. And so we also know that there will be a need for fixing and creating righteous industries for New Jerusalem. Well, this is step one. This is step one, family. So we want to keep it moving. We are in our fundraising. And so we do want to let our family know if you want to support these efforts. This is something, again, that we have to continue it. We have to keep it, pay it forward, as they say. And we as a family got to support each other. So if you want to be a part of the nation building strategy, you're ready to demonstrate the power of ownership. Again, we have a threefold fundraising endeavor with funding the next cycle of BUILT, our small business grant program. Then we also want to continue to phase in all the elements of Yahweh's Nation Building Institute. We'll be making announcements in January about the business development phase. So look out for that, family, because it will not only be available for the grant applicants and recipients, but we do want to make this available for all of our families. So we will be building in some pieces of this where you can participate in this first phase. And then, of course, our ultimate goal is a convention center, event center, where we can actually have somewhere not only to host our feast, and let's be direct, is not only to host our feast, but we want to create space where we can actually have much business in Judah. So this is a commerce-based event space that we will have space for us to do our own feast, but also have commerce around the calendar
All year long.
Praise
economic
Yahweh.
development.
So if you want to support these efforts, you can donate right now through your Cash App. So if you have Cash App, you want to type in $donate NOY. That's $donate NOY.
And if you like to come off mute and give a shout out and say that you donated, we'll be opening that up for that too, also in a few minutes.
Indeed. And then we also have the option for you to send it via PayPal. So you'll want to use the email address, thenationofyhwh@gmail.com. That's thenationofyhwh@gmail.com.
And of course, if you like to come off mute and say, hey, I PayPal offering a donation
or type in the chat, feel free to type in the YouTube chat or in our Zoom chat, your desire or even your actual donation or pledge. And then you can also use your phone right now to text to area code 504-386-4579. That's area code 504-386-4579. If you text the word donate, that's the word donate, you'll get a link back to your phone that allows you to make your contribution right now. Or if you simply want to make a pledge for a future date, you can text the word pledge to area code 504-386-4579. Same number. So at this point, we want to bring in a presentation from our youth, because not only are these efforts in effort to bring in incomers, they're also for us to actually support and have a future for our youth. So this is why we're doing this, family. We are doing this to have a space in New Jerusalem for our youth.
Absolutely.
So from the University of Yahweh, we have Nydia Yisrael, Bath Yahweh.
My name is Noon Bait. You, Olive Head. Pronounce Nibia. And I ask a question. How can I pass over and escape the wrath of my father, Yahweh? The answer to this question and the solution to this task is not difficult. It's all taken on the knowledge of my holy Hebrew name. We're looking at the third Hebrew character in my name as it relates to the chemical elements. My Yud is associated with the chemical element, neon, which has an atomic number of 10. This is associated with the Yud in my name because the Yud has a numerical value of 10. Although I would love to go into the power of 10 and many other avenues concerning 10, I will keep this brief. If not, we'll be here for many, many days. Neon is one of the 7 noble gases of the chemical elements. Nobility deals with royalty, charity, and being free from meanness. 1 Corinthians 2 verse 16. Although neon is a rare gas in the Earth's atmosphere, it is the 5th most abundant element in the universe. 1 part per 750. And is produced during the alpha process in the stars. One of my neon properties is that neon consists mostly of nitrogen. If you were to fill a balloon with neon, it will rise. So, to be able to receive and maintain the seal of protection from my Father, Yahweh, requires me to access my ability to rise above the earthly, mundane, and carnal mindset by taking on the nobility and my name to ascend up to the divine and lofty mindset of Yahweh ben Yahweh. Praise Yahweh ben Yahweh.
Yahweh's
Praise Yahweh. All right. So as we were speaking, it is that time to donate. It's that time to make pledges. It's that time to pull out your resources and let's pull them together.
What an exceptional presentation by dear Sister Nivea, who expressed the chemical elements of her name and gave us just a small peek into.
We don't have many days to be here.
Peek into how active this active.
But I wish we did have many
Yes.
days. I'm interested in hearing all of that wisdom knowledge that our young sister possessed. But praise Yahweh, and this is what we're coming together and pooling our resources, because we have to build a future for our children and our children's children. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, and so forth. Now is that time. Now is the time for us to pack our bags and get ready to move into New Jerusalem. But it requires us to work. It requires us to work together. We have fulfilled the scripture that the nation of Yahweh shall break into pieces. We've done that. Now it's time for us to consume all nations. So that's the next step. And we do that by coming together, building the infrastructure of New Jerusalem, that all nations will be present while we're building it, and all nations will be commanded to come and support it.
And we do want to invite our family. If you want to share in this nation building strategy, you want to uplift a pledge or offering, a donation, we do want to give you space to do so. You can actually unmute yourself. I believe you should have the ability to unmute yourself if you are dialed in on the Zoom. You can hit the little microphone button there to unmute yourself, or you can also raise your hand, but we do want to give you room to come in and share how you plan to support. And I did get a text in the chat from Brother Yaba Hashem. We want to thank you for your contribution, brother. Praise Yahweh. And it does look like we have someone who has come off mute. Is that Brother Samuel Boaz from Orlando, Florida?
Yes, ma'am. This is Samuel.
Praise Yahweh, Brother Samuel.
And I hope I can be heard from sunny, it is now again, sunny Orlando, Florida. Praise Yahweh.
And Brother Samuel, we getting you, but it's a little robotic. So if you, I don't know,
And very soft.
very light. So if
I'll go back on mute and work on my mic.
okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, praise Yahweh. We're definitely looking forward to what our brother Samuel has to say, because the night is this is the time of year of day that it's time for us to set an example that all nations can support. They can't support us if we're not doing anything.
Well, I want to talk about this idea of the power of ownership. You know, what it is time now when Yahweh being Yahweh gave us in tonight's message a connection to our identity as gods, you know, not just children of Yahweh, but gods. As the children of Yahweh, we are gods. You know, that means there's some degree of ownership in all of our Father's creation. We talk about inheritance. And so I just thank Yahweh for this understanding, this knowledge, and this clarity. And I do believe we have our brother Samuel who is back ready.
All right.
All right, brother Samuel.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
We can hear you.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Okay, praise Yahweh. Happy Feast of Tabernacles to all. What a wonderful start to our Feast of Tabernacles. Just wonderful messages and the point that we're making. Just want to say it's happy to be back from sunny Orlando. Now that Yahweh has passed through, it is once again sunny Orlando. Praise Yahweh for his mercy. But with that, I would like to be the first tonight to start off with a contribution of $500 toward fundraising efforts. I truly believe in what we're doing. And as Yahweh being Yahweh was saying, we have to, in essence, put our money where our mouth is. So I just wanted to be at the front of the line, raising my hand to say, praise Yahweh, and let's keep building.
Praise Yahweh. Woo-hoo,
I know. I was with the audience there.
Orlando was spared.
Yes,
so
Yahweh.
to show Yahweh their gratitude, Orlando, the city of Orlando, by way of Brother Samuel, Boaz, Israel, Ben Yahweh, has set the bar at $500. First donation.
Well, not the first donation.
Well, over the air.
Over the air.
That's what I'm saying. So now I encourage somebody else to come on the air and see what you gonna do. It doesn't matter if it's $20, if it's $5. It's all the same in Yahweh's eyes. You know, we know the parables. We know about the millionaire who gave a little bit and the poor person who gave everything he had. And we know which one entered heaven. So it's not about the amount. It's just about you giving as you are able. And praise Yahweh for Brother Samuel.
And we do have quite a few donations that have come in over the Cash App.
All
so
right.
I do want to thank our family. I want to
Praise
make sure
Yahweh
I
for
recognize you how you want to be recognized. But we have family members that have donated via Cash App. Your contributions have been received and acknowledged. So I just want to thank Yahweh for you. And thank Yahweh for all who believe in this collective effort, because as I was sharing, it's time for ownership, and that ownership means coming together and being responsible, not only for ourselves, but Yahweh's children.
That's right.
We learned at our Day of Atonement.
Absolutely.
That our responsibility was for us to atone and become at one with Yahweh, not just for ourselves, but we have to repent for the whole world.
For the whole world.
So that's a lot of repenting we got to do.
That's a lot of atoning.
That's a lot of atoning, but Yahweh He created us for this day. I am not afraid of the mission that we have ahead of us, family. Yahweh has given us the word. He's given us his truth. And all we have to do now, family, is stay strong and stay true in it and continue to push forward.
Absolutely. And Yahweh has given us some powerful tools to keep our minds in the right direction. One of those tools is the unfolding light, who comes to you every Saturday morning and teaching about every day of Shabbat, how we have to be holy every day. And then we have YahwehRadio.com, which broadcasts Yahweh 24/7. Every day, all day, to keep your mind stayed on Yahweh. But we have another presentation.
We do have another presentation that we're going to share at this feast, which is a 3-part presentation that was created a couple
of years ago.
A couple of years ago. And we felt it necessary for us to revisit this because Yahweh's word is always needed this day and every day. And so this is an audio play written by Sister Yochebed Sarah. And you'll recognize a few voices on this, so I won't spill the beans on this. So if you know about it, this will be a refreshing revisit. If you don't know about it,
enjoy it.
Here is We Need the Word, part 1. And we've broken it down to 3 parts for this feast.
Yahweh's play, We Need the Word, Scene 1.
Shalom. Welcome to our 2021 original audio play called We Need the Word. Revelations 21:8 reveals, but the fearful and unbelieving, and the abominable, and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. In this first scene, there are 2 Hebrews and 2 cafe workers going about their regular morning. The Hebrews in the cafe are sitting down talking while the news anchor is speaking.
Good morning and thanks for tuning in to WWW Radio. I'm your host, Jack Daniels. And as usual, we have an urgent message for all of our listeners out there. The coronavirus, COVID-19, is once again spreading a new strand that is twice as contagious and deadly. All of you that have taken the first vaccine must urgently prepare yourself to get the second vaccine to protect yourself from this deadly virus.
Oh no, did you hear that? There's another strain of this virus. This can be really bad, and I don't know what to do. I have a family to provide for and protect. I hope I don't have to close down the cafe again. I'm afraid to even walk the streets now.
And you have nothing to worry about. Just listen to the news, get your vaccines. We're going to be just fine. They got that science for us. Plus, my cousin knows how to work some roots, so I'll hook us up.
Excuse me. I overheard what you all were saying. And I must tell you, this day, 2021, all good people are being called to be delivered. All moral people are being called to be delivered. All righteous people, no matter your race or color, are being called to be delivered. You have nothing to worry about.
I have been going to church looking for some type of spiritual guidance, but haven't found any answers to this virus. I'm afraid of what the virus is doing. I'm afraid of what the vaccines are doing. I don't know what to do and who is going to deliver us.
Well, Sam, you just asked the right question. The truth given to us by Yahweh ben Yahweh will save us. Yahweh ben Yahweh gave us the wisdom to discern truth from falsehood.
And how are we supposed to do that? We just regular people.
Oh, no, Victoria. We are the people of Almighty God Yahweh, and we have the ability to study and research all this information in order to find out if it will benefit us or will we perish from it. Yahweh ben Yahweh told us to study all the facts about a thing. If you are considering taking a vaccine, my question to you is, do you know what's in it? Have you researched it? What are the risks? Take time to do the research, and you will know what to do without anyone telling you what to do.
That's right, Brother Adam. Ask yourself, why do people blindly trust what other people say? Psalms chapter 118 and 8 states, "It is better to trust in the Lord Yahweh than to put confidence in man." The news personnel are just men and women. The work of Yahweh comes straight from God.
Really? How do you know that?
Yahweh ben Yahweh is the deliverer, and he came to the hills of North America as a sacrifice to save us, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's us. We did not learn this from television, school, or even church. Yahweh ben Yahweh told us this day was coming, and that we, the descendants of slaves, the original Hebrew Israelites spoken of in the Bible, we were brought here as slaves on ships because of our disobedience to our God Yahweh.
Make no mistake, we are building the nation of Yahweh, the kingdom of Yahweh, which shall never be destroyed. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. Wow. We need the word, y'all, but we need to do something. We need to get off our butts, pool our resources, and let's build our future. You know, our very lives dependent on it. Do you know that there are people that are doing their best to enact policies to destroy us? It's no different than what the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh taught us over all these years that he taught. Since he emerged in 1979, he's been teaching us the same thing all the way up to today. That there are those who want to see us destroyed, to see us dead, and they are doing all kinds of things that cause that to happen. But Yahweh say vengeance is his. So we don't have to fight them a war like they fighting. We don't have to pick up any guns or any weapons. We fight them by coming together and pooling our resources and taking our resources away from them by not supporting them. And that's what this fundraiser is all about. We're taking the resources that America is standing on, which is us, our resources. Us giving everybody our money first before we give it to ourselves and Yahweh. That's why Yahweh had to teach us to pay Yahweh and yourself first. And don't touch it. So you always have it. He taught us that strategy. He didn't say pay it Yahweh after you pay it Bill. Bill is your oppressor, has always been your oppressor. Not only Bill, desire is your oppressor and want to desire these wicked things of this world. But, you know, I'm not going to go too deep into that. That's going on to my particular presentation at this feast, which is coming up later on in the feast. But back to the subject of fundraising. It is fun raising money to do Yahweh's will. It is fun for us to participate in those. I mean, when you put your money where you believe in, what you really believe in, it is a joy because you see results. We see results with the BUILD program. You will see results with the Yahweh Nation Building Institute, and you will see results with the Yahweh International Convention Center, where we will host not only our high holy days, in conventions, but we will host other nations' conventions in our center,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And they will gladly pay us a whole lot to do it.
Well, and Yahweh said that they're going to have to come to us. So we are building in the mechanisms. We are coming collective on what's needed for us to be prepared to receive all nations, family. It is this is the work that we have to do. And I want to invite anyone who wants to come offline, come off mute right now. We're about at our last moment.
You have about 30 seconds to a minute
to share, but do not fret because we will have many more moments in our upcoming nights. So if you're not prepared to come off,
but don't hesitate to give. Go ahead and give it. Get on the Cash App. Get on the PayPal. That's your pal. You know how to text. Everybody above the age of 2 know how to text now.
Apparently.
Well, I think maybe even younger, but that's a different story.
But you can also always visit the nation of YHWH.com, there where you can click on the tithes button, and you can always donate through our online donation portal on our website. You can set up recurring donations if you like. But again, we do have 1 more minute. So if there's anyone who wants to share, that moment is about to be over.
And yes,
it is over. Well, we thank Yahweh for all the exceptional information that we have received so far. Now, family, we are in night 3. We have 5 more nights to go of information. And tomorrow night, you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss the information that's being shared. Our brother Jeremiah Yisrael, the author of Spiritual Significance of a Name, will be presenting on tomorrow night, also presenting from How to Overcome the World. And we thank Yahweh for all the exceptional information that we received thus far. So that's it, family. Do not forget to continue to donate on our nation building strategy. And always remember that Yahweh is the reason for our purpose here tonight. And he told us in our instructions that we are to give. This is the Feast of Tabernacles. And we're supposed to show up at the Feast of Tabernacles, not show up empty. We need to show up with our offerings in mind. So I just want to remind you that Yahweh shared this tonight. But this concludes our class for this evening. Please join us tomorrow night as we continue Yahweh's Feast of Tabernacles celebration at the same time right here on our Feast teleconference line. Our presenter for tomorrow night, again, is Brother Jeremiah Yisrael Ben Yahweh, author of Spiritual Significance of a Name. We encourage you to remember to pay Yahweh and yourselves first, and do not touch it as instructed by the Honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh. You can send your tithes, donations, and offerings to the Nation of Yahweh at P.O. Box 555-115, Orlando, Florida 32855. Or also you can send Cash App, PayPal, or visit us online at thenationofyhwh.com. And be blessed continually according to Malachi chapter 3, verse 10.
And now we will all stand and face the east with outstretched hands. We like to close out this night of the Feast of Tabernacles with a prayer to our Heavenly Father Yahweh, the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Tefillah. Avenu Shabbat Shemayim, Yikadesh Shemerika, Tavo Makuterika, Yazerezonka, King Bashemayim, King Ba'aretz, and Lechem Kukenu, Tang Lanu Hayom, Uslat Lanu, Al Kartienu, Kimo Shosokin, Damanatnu, Lakotiem Lamu, Veal Tevienu, Lede Nitzayon, King Kal Senu, Minhara, Kilika, Hamamlaha, Veha Gibera, Veha Tepieret, Leolame, Olamim Sila. We thank thee, O Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. So let everything that has breath praise Yahweh.